Take 26.
So we decided to do this video because we just did our tour of our Winnebago Navion 21D, and we got a lot of questions, comments, private messages on certain upgrades that we did. If we could do it again, would we do it again? So we wanted to go through each of our options that we did choose and what works for us, for our family of 3.
And the options that we decided to go with benefit us because of this. We knew that this is the type of camping that we'd want to do. So some of the options that we actually went with, we would not recommend them for others if we know that they had no intention of camping the way that we are camping or intended to camp with our RV.
Our goal was spend this money up front so that we can camp cheap. We can find places where we don't need to pay to hook up. We're saving more now because of the purchases that we did at the beginning, the more expensive upgrades.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We're definitely recouping that upfront cost that we made or expense by being able to camp in some of these places. And we'll try to link some of those photos in the video. You know, whether it's we're at Zion National Park and we're out the middle of nowhere on the plains, or we're in Yellowstone and we're camping in a great spot there. We're at Sequoia and we're boondocking there as well. So I mean, for us, some of the options made sense for us because though the places that we have gone to are typically not places that others would go to camp because that's just not their style of camping.
Yeah, and a lot of the national parks, if you camp at a campground right outside of there, it's usually right around $60 to $100, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And us doing it full time, we just could not afford that.
Glacier National Park was $98.
And it wasn't full hookup. They didn't have dump.
Yeah.
And then you had to pay extra for dump. So yeah, we made that mistake that one time. All those times that we panicked and set something up before we got there and then realized we could have stayed somewhere, not Harvest Host, it was Hip Camp. We could have stayed somewhere for like $40 for dry camp. So places like that, you can find so much free camping or low cost camping. You don't have to do.
But even Hip Camp, those typically you don't get any type of hookup either. It's still just dry camping. Yeah.
So.
Okay, here we go.
So one of the upgrades I noticed right away that we had to have was the upgraded driver and passenger seat to match the rest of the RV, because you can turn those around and they just blend it in with your whole living space. So since we were going to be living in here, I wanted it as cozy and match as much as possible because we don't have a lot of space. So there's not much we can do for decorations. I think the only thing we have added was just the 2 throw pillows, but besides that, everything is nice, pretty, and just flows.
For generator, we did upgrade as well to the diesel generator. For us, that was more of whenever we're out there camping, dry camping or boondocking, we thought it would be easier not to worry about using up our propane for the generator if we'd have to run our generator more, and having the propane solely to do our cooking and stuff like that. So it wasn't a hard option for us. However, again, if your style of camping is where you're going to be doing more RV sites, then I don't know if the diesel generator would be the best option.
The next option that we went with was the dual pane acrylic window upgrade. We absolutely love those. After we decided on it and we ordered, we saw a few people that had complaints, but we absolutely love them. They go out different levels. You have a big open window. If you had the standard windows, it just slides and you kind of only have half the window with the airflow. So with these, you have a nice big window that can open.
Hydraulic leveling jack, we also got that. I can't tell you how many times we have gone to a site and seen people out there setting up their rigs, or just trying to get it level, and be out there for an hour trying to get their rigs level. We typically pull into a campsite, um, and within 5 minutes, the vehicle is done leveling from the point that we pull in. I am okay with paying the money so that I don't have to worry about that. Although there was one site that we went to just outside of Yellowstone,
Mm-hmm.
and it took me about half hour to try to get the vehicle level, and I could not get it to level, and I ended up moving. So it didn't fail me, but there's one occasion where I couldn't get it to level. Outside of that, I'm usually done in 5 minutes, and I did not mind spending the extra money for that peace of
It's
mind.
well worth that one.
It's definitely well worth it.
So for our entertainment system upgrade, we have not really been great fans of it. We've been in here, next month will be a year that we've been in here. We have used a DVD player a couple times because when we don't have Wi-Fi wherever we're boondocking, we'll throw in a movie for our son. And then somebody just asked us recently what we thought of the upgrade, and we said out of all of our upgrades, this was the one that we probably wouldn't do again if we had the option. So Tamar was doing some research in our, what was it in the book? Where did you see that recently?
About
the Bluetooth, the speaker.
No, because of the questions that they asked, I decided to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this whole time in our almost year, we never used the speaker underneath that we paid for. I don't know. So we tried it. It's Bluetooth, so we can play music, and it actually sounds pretty good.
It does.
It sounds nice.
It does.
And then, so it works with the TV and obviously our phone, whatever we have for music. So now, if we had the option again, I think we would get it.
Yeah, it does block your view a little bit if you're standing there.
And your paper towel is tucked in behind it, so you kind of have to like reach up. But
so it's definitely inconveniencing to some degree.
But now it has a use for us.
It does have. We already paid for it anyway, so.
That's kind of It depends, I guess, if you have your own portable speaker too, which we have, so it hasn't really been missed. But now we'll probably use it now that we have it. We know we have it.
Would you get it again though?
Since we have our speaker, our real portable speaker. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't think I would.
Yeah.
And we don't use the Bluetooth, the Blu-ray on any of that. So.
Except for again, like Wi-Fi, if Wi-Fi's down for our son, but yeah.
Okay.
It's a toss-up. Give us a few more days on that one. Take 25.
So one of our must-have options was the lithium battery. We knew that we did not want to go to campsites and pay full price to hook up everywhere we went. Plus, we knew that we still had about 8 months in Southern California, and Southern California is a perfect place to dry camp. So why pay full hookup when we didn't need it? From November of 2020 until mid-May 2021, when we actually left the area, we saved about $4,000 by not paying full price per day. And from May until I would say probably about August, when we got to Indiana, we still rarely went to campsites where we had to have full hookup. So for us, it was an option that quickly paid for itself because we could go several days on our battery power without having to rely on either the generator or having full hookup. Now, if you do go the option to get the lithium package, I recommend you spend the extra $1,000 maybe to get additional solar panels. The unit comes with about 200 watts of solar panel. However, ours anyway is able to get to accept 510 watts. It makes sense for you to get as much power going in to the batteries as possible. Otherwise, you're still going to be relying a lot more on your generator to recharge the batteries. Now, if you have no plans of dry camping, or you solely plan on hooking up everywhere you go to shore power, I do not advise getting the lithium battery. It would be an investment that is just not worth it, because you're going to be hooking up everywhere you go. What is the point of it? You'll be wasting your money.
So our other option we had was to choose the dinette or the what is it?
Theater seating.
The theater seating. So that was an easy one for us, just to stick with the dinette for the table, for schoolwork with our son, or for eating. It's also great for stealth or street camping. So when we were in Southern California for all those months, on the weekends we'd go down to the beach and then drive down the street to sleep overnight, and we couldn't do our slide out, so T and I would sleep on the dinette, and then our son could still use the bunk when the slide is in, because that's a big thing why people don't choose a D, is they can't put their bed out when the slide's in. So it was an option for us, and it works great if we're passing through, and we could just pull in a parking lot too if need be. And I can see why the theater seating would be great for maybe just 2 people that are using the RV. It's perfect seating, right, with a TV, and they do look pretty comfortable. We haven't seen them or sat in them or anything, but it just limits your space too. So if you have family member or grandkids, and a lot of people like to camp with their grandkids, it takes away some of the sleeping area, so then you're down to 4 people instead of 6.
Another thing, like Kelly mentioned, we're in San Diego. We would stealth camp quite a bit on Carlsbad Beach. If you're interested in knowing where some of those spots are where we would spend all weekend and then go to the beach, put a comment down below, and we'll let you know where those spots are. You'd be surprised. Several RVs every night, they would leave from the beach and drive to these
like 2 minutes down the road?
Yeah, 2 minutes down the road, and everyone be parked up there for the night. And by the next morning, everybody's back on the beach again in Carlsbad by, what was it, 5 or 6?
We would be there at 5 every morning. No one else would be there yet, but we would be there at 5.
Because we had a specific spot that we liked.
It was, the reception was decent on our little spot. So.
Yeah. So anyway, just drop a comment and we'll let you know where those spots are. Full body paint, that one we didn't know if we necessarily needed it or not. We went to pick up our vehicle and we looked at the other rigs that were on the lot in Iowa. There is a big difference between the look, the finish of the full body paint versus the wrap. So in the end, we're happy with the paint over the wrap, but if we had to do it again, we would definitely go with the full body paint option as well. Overall, I think we're happy with all the options that we selected.
So we give it a 2 thumbs up.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below.